Okay, I'm back, guys. So let's start. So we already discussed these models, right? So if you will talk about this certificate exchange, so how this vSmart, vManage, vBond will create tunnels. So certificate are exchange and mutual authentication take place. There's a basically the semantic public key we use that is inbuilt. TPM chip is already inbuilt on this image. So vBond validate vSmart controller and vManage certificate serial number against authorized whitelist. What is of this whitelist? We will discuss it. That how we do the whitelisting for the edges on the vManage. vSmart controller and vManage validate vBond orchestrator certificate organization name against locally configured one. So these are some basic requirement whenever we deploy these images. After that, we do some basic configuration. So organization name is also that part of that basic configuration. So these authenticate this way that vBond validate the certificates and vSmart and vManage validate the orchestrator organization name to confirm, okay, you are the part of my SD-WAN fabric. Okay, DTLS and TLS secure connection is established between them. So DTLS basically use the UDP protocol and TLS is use TCP protocol. So whenever we configure the vSmart, first time we configure the vSmart, that time we define that what kind of tunnel we need to use. Is it DTLS or TLS? So that we will see that when we configure our lab, where is the option? Okay. VH router connection to vBond orchestrator, right? We will discuss in detail the ZTP on later slide later on. But here you should know that how it authenticate any edge, right? So certificate are exchanged and mutual authentication take place between vBond and VH over encrypted tunnel. vBond validates edge router serial number and chassis number, chassis ID against authorized edge whitelist. So basically, one list we upload on the vManage first time. That time it also send the same whitelist to this vSmart and vBond. So all are having the same list, right? Under that list, it is already defined that which serial number and chassis number is a part of this organization. That can be uploaded many times. You can modify that list, and that list we normally got from the our Cisco Smart account. I will share every snapshot and details with you that how you can log in on the Smart account of Cisco Smart account that is available on the Cisco website. So there you can log in and you can download that file, and there's another way that directly you can sync your vManage. When we will configure our lab, then you will see how there's a multiple ways that you can get that whitelist of VHs. Then VH router validate vBond certificate organization name against locally configured one. As I already informed you that whenever we will configure any device first time, there is some basic configuration we need to configure. Then VH, this is the next step when all is done and cable internal connectivity is done on the edge. Now how does vBond authenticate to edge, right? So VH router validate vBond certificate organization name against locally configured one and provision DTLS or TLS tunnel, whatever we have defined. vBond return it to edge a list of vSmart controllers and vManage. Whenever this edge will reach to vBond, vBond first authenticate to this edge through certificate exchange that you have the same one, whatever I'm having, you have the same organization name, whatever is configured at my end. After that, it will redistribute. vBond will redistribute vSmart and vManage list to Edge that okay, I have done your authentication. Now these are the vManage and vSmart, right? So you need to go to these vSmart and vManage to create your tunnels. vBond notified smart. Here you can see vBond returns a VH list to VH, a list of vSmart control and vManage vBond notify vSmart and vManage of edge router public IP address. It means whenever vBond authenticate to edge, that time it also capture what is the public IP configured on this device. That public IP redistribute by the vBond to vManage and vSmart. Okay, I have just authenticated one edge who is having this public IP address. Now it will try to reach to you with this public IP. So you just allow. So it's already informed to vSmart and vManage. Okay, I have just got a hit from this device and I already authenticated. The public IP of this device is blah 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 40.1.1.1 anything else, and that IP will be shared by vBond to vManage and vSmart. Now
Uh,
vManage and vSmart knows. Mhm.
Sachin,
Yeah.
as per your statement,
Mhm.
it means that the VH routers have to have a public IP every time.
Yeah. Either if you don't want to configure the public IP, then there is one condition. You can configure one private IP here, but that should be one-to-one NAT on your firewall. For example, you have one. Let me share on the paint as well the setup. Suppose on your site you have one firewall and one internet connection is connected here. Okay. Now you already have one legacy router. Okay. Now you want to replace this, right, with edge device. Here you will configure the edge device. You will replace this router and you are providing one private IP on this interface. On this interface, you are providing one private IP. The condition is that this firewall should provide one-to-one NAT for this IP. And there's some firewall port also we need to open. We will discuss further what all firewall port you need to open, and that's how you can set up. So
Okay, this is
when
this is no this is about how you connect to outside of your perimeter. Now let's say I have a setup which has a small number of uh, SD-WAN fabric devices in on the very same location, be it a cloud location or a physical location. I have X number of controllers, manage and edge devices on the same location. And in that particular scenario, do I what I mean, how does this flow? How does this network flow? Without NAT or public IP or
no,
private
it's
IP?
a
How does
fix.
this flow?
It is fix. If you are configuring your edge device with private IP, then it's a must condition you need to do one-to-one NAT
No,
on
I'm
your
not.
edge device.
Listen, I'm not leaving my premises. I'm not going to connect anything outside. I have a setup of 10 devices in a single location, let's say a single data center, and I have a setup of 10 devices, right?
10 edges, you
And
mean
I'm
to say.
not leaving my boundary.
Okay,
And
10
and this
edges, you mean to say, right?
yes,
Okay,
10 edges,
got it.
or let's say two edges, five edges to be
Yeah,
managed, three
for example,
controllers or something.
we can take 5 edges at your data center, right?
Hmm.
And you already have a controller in your data center, right?
Yeah,
Right? In this data
and then
center,
we
you
bond
already have
and
all the
yeah, yeah,
things,
yeah.
right? You mean to say, it's your
Yes,
data
correct,
center.
correct.
Here is vManage, vSmart, vBond, and 5 edges, correct?
Hmm.
Yeah, then you don't need to do any netting, one-to-one netting, because you all are in your same environment in your private network. Only condition is that it should reach to your vBond, vManage, and vSmart. The same thing we will do in our lab. In our lab, we will just build one topology here, and we will build. Let me log in there. It's a EVNG platform.
So that means the V-edge
Yeah,
routers only need a public IP if they are trying to connect outside of their premises,
correct,
right?
correct. Your vBond should reachable from the publicly. Your vManage, vSmart can have the private IP, but the vBond should have the reachability to them.
And I
I
have
believe,
another scenario to discuss. Can I have these different components hosted at different locations,
yeah, you
like
can do that. Yeah, but the
like
only condition is
V
that,
bond? Mhm,
yeah, suppose you have deploy one component in the DC, one component in the DC, one component in other DC.
mhm.
Condition is same. They should be reachable to each other, either through
Yeah.
public IP, either through private IP. Either you are using MPLS, either you are using internet or for public IP. Condition is same that these all should be reachable. If they are not reachable, your fabric will not work.
Mhm.
These should be
Right.
reachable. Right? The condition is same. So
Sachin,
normally,
one thing like Jen said, in same premises, we are having vBond, vManage,
hmm,
and v
we smart.
controller we have,
ठीक है.
vSmart we have,
Okay,
and in the same premises we have a VH device. So here
correct,
my these devices can be on private network. Okay,
correct. Mhm.
but suppose I have one more remote device, remote
Uh,
site,
yeah,
and
uh,
a VH device is
yeah,
installed there.
this one. Uh-huh.
So that VH device need a public IP to connect to this uh, in-premise vBond device or not?
Sorry. I missed this one. Your
Okay,
your this device on remote side. Now continue. What you said?
yeah.
Okay. Hmm.
So I have a VH device on a remote site.
Correct.
So that VH device need to connect to my vBond, which is in my
Correct.
data center.
Correct.
So for that
It will
connectivity,
try to reach this vBond. The condition is
yes.
same. Your vBond should have public IP. Either it's on premises, either it's on outside. If you are not giving public IP to them, how this device will know that where is the vBond? Right? So it should have a vBond public IP. If you are providing one private IP here to the vBond,
Hmm.
then that should be one-to-one NAT through your firewall. So that's how it will reach to you this way.
Yeah.
Here it's right.
Okay.
Correct.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what about if I have a MPLS link on remote location? Mostly we have a private IP address on that link generally.
Uh,
So let's
I
say we
think that
have
should work.
okay,
I
but
think that should
we
work because the only condition is that wherever my VH device is, it should be reachable to my vBond. Am I right,
Right.
Sachin?
Right. It should be reachable. Yeah. But the same question I will raise with you, then it does not
Hmm.
make sense if you are running your whole SD-WAN fabric on an MPLS environment, right?
so
Then what is the
that
logic that why you're using SD-WAN
yeah. Next question is if I have one internet link and one MPLS link, right?
on
And
this
let's
one,
say if
right?
my internet link goes down, in that
Mhm.
case the reachability should go via MPLS link, right?
Right?
So in that case, how that remote device will authenticate with vBond if my internet link is down.
See, there's a different setups, right? Your vSmart should also have that MPLS link reachability. See this, for example, let me read this one. For example, you have this setup, you have all three component here in your DC, right? And you have one remote site. There is a two link, one MPLS, one is internet, right? So it's depend on you if you are assigning this vBond as a public IP, right? You assign this public IP to this one, right? Normally company do like in a way. There's a typical environment if you want to deploy, so it will be very complex things. Cisco also will not recommend to you that you are deploying MPLS environment and SD-WAN fabric. So you have defined one public IP here. Either you have not defined, you have defined one private IP and do the NAT on firewall. So that is the same condition. For example, just suppose we have public IP on the vBond. Now at your site there is a two link, one MPLS, one internet, right? Your internet goes down. Now you have MPLS. There's now two condition. Either your MPLS provider should have one leg. This is your MPLS cloud, and your MPLS is connected with this one. So either your MPLS provider should have one leg towards the internet, so that your box will be able to reach to the vBond through that internet, right? Right. So either your MPLS is not providing a lag to the internet, your box will reach to your hub, your DC, where MPLS link is connected. Okay, here MPLS link is connected. So your box will reach to your hub. It will do the netting available on your firewall, right? Suppose most of the companies provide internet through the hubs, right? So it will reach to your hub. It will do the netting on the internet, and because this public IP is reachable from the internet, it again reach to the vBond. So there's a two way you can use, right?
In this case, yeah, maybe if I my internet link goes down, so if I have configured a BGP between our MPLS IP, in that case,
Hmm.
I get default route for internet purpose, and
Correct,
that traffic
correct,
will go to DC.
correct,
I
correct.
believe so, right?
That default, yeah, that default route. If you have BGP with your hub, then your default route will able to reach to your internet. And maybe if your service providers this kind of facility, if this MPLS from this MPLS you want to go to internet, then sometime ISP also provide this kind of facility. They also have one default route towards the internet. They deploy like this. This is the MPLS P. This is the internet P. You know that internet also working on MPLS. Internet also having the VRFs. So it is a internet P. In between there is one firewall for security purpose. It will be NAT here. It will go to firewall, or maybe the firewall do the netting, and it will be out to the internet, and through the internet it will reach the vBond. And that's how the reverse traffic will come, right? So there's a multiple ways. So these kind of designing you can suggest, you can ask from the Cisco, because approved designs also is a must. If you are designing on yourself and suppose you have faced the issue, then tech will come on the call. They will say you're designing wrong. Why you deploy this design? Your design is wrong. Is the design approved by the Cisco or engineering team? Your design should be the correct according to the SD-WAN. So it's better that always take consideration with the Cisco teams. There are support teams available, engineering team available. So they will see your design. They will check what kind of limitations in the design. What are the what maybe the problem you can face in this design. So this kind of issue you can discuss with tech, and then it's a recommendation. Then you can deploy. Otherwise, if you will deploy your design according to your understanding, maybe you forget some point and later on tech in the call and you are facing some issues that route is not going there, it is not net doing netting, or maybe another problems, why the site is not communicating with this. So that time tech will say your design is wrong. We cannot do any help on this one. So that kind of issue. Right, and it does not make any sense that you are deploying any MPLS environment, the whole SD-WAN fabric, just to analyze your application layer or monitoring purpose. So basically, it's a matter of cost. Okay. So
Sachin,
okay,
can you please go on slide 21?
slide 21. Okay, yeah.
Uh, could you please explain this? I actually lost it. I joined late.
Okay, no problem. So basically, these three component, vBond, vSmart, vManage, we already discussed. These are the three component. So these should also have a reachable. So in this slide, we define that how they authenticate each other and how they make the connection. So basically, certificate are exchanged and mutual authentication take place. vBond validate vSmart controller and vManage certificate serial numbers against the authorized whitelist. What is the whitelist? We will discuss later how you can upload on the vManage. And there's a multiple ways. Either you can do the sync with your smart account, either you can manually download that file from your smart account and upload on the vManage. So this is a very small file, 1 KB, 2 KB file, and it's a special coding. That extension is Viptela, not a TXT or anything else. You cannot read that file. That is a encrypted file having extension with .viptela, and that file you will upload on the vManage, and vManage will have the full list. Okay, these 1500 sites or 50 sites or 70 sites are the part of my organization. How that list is created from smart account? Normally what happen, whenever you gives any order to Cisco for purchasing any devices, like is normally it happen that you never give the 1500 sites order in one go. You order time to time, like you have deploying project of 3 4 years, so you are first you deploying the project in APAC, then you will deploy in EMEA, or maybe first you are deploying some critical sites, so it's depend on you. So suppose you have provided them order of first 50 models, like the 20 models for 100 and 2 for 2000 and 50 for the model VH model 1000. So this kind of order you already placed with Cisco. So what Cisco will do, they will map those serial file and chassis with your account. So they will provide you one smart account, and they will map all those chassis number, serial number with your account. So you can go to your smart account and download that list and upload in your vManage. So time to time they update. Then your as your order is getting increased, suppose 1 year has been completed, you already deploy 50 sites. Next year you are deploying 100 sites. You have give more orders to Cisco. So they will add those devices on that one. You can download new serial file from there, and you can upload on your vManage. I will discuss with a snapshot with you that how you can use the smart account. So just I'm giving you overview. So this is the that we call the authorized whitelist. So first, whenever we build these controllers, that time we do some configuration and do the whitelisting. But when it try to create tunnel between them, this kind of process we are discussing here, that we won't validate vSmart controller and vManage certificate serial number against authorized whitelist. vSmart
I
controller,
think, Sachin, I think that happens similarly when we replace VHs, right? Like
yeah.
RMAs and all. Yeah?
Correct. That is also happens sometimes. vSmart controller and vManage validate vBond orchestrator certificate organization name against locally configured one. So there are some basic configuration we need to do on every device when we configure first time. So the organization name is also part of that configuration. So vSmart controller and vManage validate vBond organization name, that okay, these these vManage and vSmart just check the vBond organization name. Okay, you are the part of my organization because we are having the same, and they mutually exchange some certificate and signed it, and then check, because there's a one is root change certificate. We will discuss it when we will do the lab, then you will see that what actually we are doing there. So there's a signing authority, and uh, this kind of authentication take place. There's a two-way DTLS or TLS tunnel you can create between these controllers. So DTLS use the UDP protocol, and TLS use the TCP protocol. So now we'll move to this slide. In this one, we are discussing that how Edge will establish a connection. So we already discussed it, that vBond already authenticate to the Edge, and then vBond share its IP to vManage and vSmart. Now vEdge will hit to the vSmart and vManage, and it will create a tunnel, right? On the lab, you will see this kind of traversing how it's work, right? And whatever tunnel we have defined, when we will deploy the vSmart, then when we will deploy the vSmart, that time you can define that you want to keep DTLS or TLS. So that's how it will create a tunnel. Okay. Now we will go to this OMP, right?
Sachin, this tunnel is being created between vBond and VH.
Yeah, this tunnel between vBond and VH, and these controller also create a tunnel, right?
Okay.
Between them. They will
So
also create
this
a tunnel.
so this
Here you can
tunnel
see.
will remain as it is, or it will get disconnected.
No. These controller will always have a tunnel, right? In this slide, let me show you. You will see in this vManage, here you can see vBond is up, vSmart is up, and vManage. So this is the vManage dashboard. It is all having the tunnel with vBond and vSmart. That's the reason it is showing up here. So it always will have the tunnel between them. All three components
No,
will always have the tunnel.
I'm not talking about the tunnel between vBond, vBond, vSmart, and vManage. I'm talking about the tunnel between vBond and vEdge.
No, it will be disconnect later on. So the first time tunnel it will create with vBond, and then it will make a final tunnel with vManage and vSmart. Right? In the lab, you will see that in the lab it will create a tunnel with vBond, but in production environment you will see it will only have a tunnel with vSmart and vManage. Right?
Okay.
But again, suppose that you have one site, it's already deployed, site is running fine. Now, now day-to-day work has been completed, and at the end of the day, site person just power off the edge and go to home. Next day he comes back, he just power on. Then again it will follow the same process. It will go to the vBond. First tunnel it will make with vBond. It will authenticate it, and it's already know, okay, because this it already know that I'm having vSmart and vManage, but it will again create a first tunnel with a vBond also, because it's a first point of authentication. Okay. Like and subscribe my channel and share with those guys who want to learn SD-WAN. Thank you so much.